there, and welcome back to another video kind of outlining my crazy, bonkers, stressful, complication after complication pregnancy journey. I'm going to update you on this video that I dropped at, I'm checking right now, the beginning of February. It's a little later than I wanted to update because my placenta hates me, and we're going to get into why it took longer for me to update than I originally planned. Hey there, I'm Allison from onlineteacherallison.com, and I teach stay-at-home parents how to teach online so they can earn an income from home. And if you're here for that, don't go anywhere because I'm not going anywhere. My next video will be more on online teaching stuff, but this one needed an update. So stick around. I'm still here for you. All right. So for the last almost 2 months, we'll just call it a month and a half for, ease of math, I have been bouncing back and forth between my regular OB and the maternal fetal medicine MFM doctors. And the MFM doctors are like high-risk doctors. So my pregnancy, while not at the time considered high risk, it was maybe high risk enough to be talking to those doctors regularly. So as I'm at my normal OB appointments, we're doing normal checks. They're doing the fundal measurement where they, put the tape measure on the belly. They're checking heart rate. They're checking my vitals. Just normal stuff. But the MFM doctors, they were doing an ultrasound every time, which usually it's great because you want to see baby more than you would normally get to in your pregnancy. But they were looking specifically at my placenta because if you didn't catch that video where I said my placenta hates me, they were suspecting that my placenta had implanted into the scar tissue from the C-section from delivering my son. And apparently a really bad thing. So what we were looking at was a 34-week C-section hysterectomy. So at 34 weeks, they wanted me to come in. They're going to, instead of that standard bikini line incision, they're going to gut me, the vertical incision. They're going to pull baby and then knock me out. Baby and my husband will probably go to the NICU, and they were going to pull out my uterus. They were going to do basically a full hysterectomy. The only thing they were going to leave was my ovaries. I think it's ovaries because ovaries are what give you the hormones, right? Yeah, ovaries. So gone was the cervix, gone was the uterus, gone were the tubes, and all I was going to have were the ovaries for the hormones because apparently they're a really good thing, even though I hate them. So I've been in for, I think since that video, it's been 2 more ultrasounds. It might be 3. But in what was supposed to be my last ultrasound, they're doing the transvaginal one, the internal one, which, no fun. And baby decided that it was time to go head down. And this was at 32 weeks. Okay. 32 weeks, baby decided, hey, time to go head down. Every other time, baby had been breech, so sideways, head, butt, this time, head was down, which, you want baby to progress, but the problem was, baby's head was in the way of, you guessed it, my placenta. So they could see some of the placenta, but they couldn't see the edge that was closest to my cervix, which is where they were looking because I asked, they can't really see the incision through the ultrasound. So they judge by the distance between your placenta and the cervix. So they couldn't see that edge because baby's head was in the way. So I'm laying on the table, feet are in the stirrups, and they tip me. So my head is way back. My legs are above my head. They're hoping gravity will do its thing and get baby to kind of shift more upwards. So baby's head is out of the way. Well, that didn't do it. So they brought in a doctor, because the ultrasound tech can't do this, I guess, medically. And the doctor is pushing on me, pushing on my stomach hard, trying to get this stubborn baby to move. Well, she couldn't get the doctor to move. No, she couldn't get the baby to move. So she goes and gets another doctor. So at this point, there's me and my husband in there. Thankfully, my mom was in town, so she babysat my son for this one. And then there's the ultrasound tech. The ultrasound tech in training. The first doctor that pushed on me. And now another doctor to push on me. There's 6 people. in there. So hello, welcome to cervix cam, as I'm calling it, because I also found out as they're, ultrasounding you, they have a live feed to another room that the doctors can watch in real time as it's happening. So I'm on cervix cam with doctors in another room. Oh, who knows how many. I am in the room with 4 other people. I have no pants on. Everyone's just trying to get this baby to move. So this next doctor is pushing on me. I swear they pushed, and I have a full bladder because, So they pushed probably a good 10 minutes and stubborn baby would not move. So they finally gave up. The next day I felt like I was punched. I was sore. And I rescheduled to come back a week later at 33 weeks. And they're wanting to do the C-section hysterectomy at 34 weeks. So there's no more time. There is no more leeway. So I go back at 34 weeks. Baby is still head down. But thankfully, they can see. So this ultrasound was quick and easy. On cervix cam, they found that they could see the whole placenta and they can see the cervix. The doctor that came in talked to me. He showed me exactly what they were looking at, which I actually really appreciated because I'm nervous. So they measured the distance between my cervix and the closest edge of my placenta. And I don't remember the measurement, but he was telling me that it has moved. So it was never attached to that incision that they thought. And it's actually moved enough that it's not even considered a low-lying placenta anymore. It's just, usually I guess the placenta is towards the top, but mine's pretty low. So they have come to the conclusion that I don't need a C-section hysterectomy in less than a week for 34 weeks, right? And that I am in the clear to just go for a regular repeat C-section. And if I really wanted to push for a VBAC, I probably could, but I want them in there just in case, because, imaging isn't perfect. So just in case there's a piece of the placenta attached where they don't want it, I want them in there so they can see, because I don't want to have a successful VBAC and then they can't get the placenta out all the way. So then they just have to cut me open anyways. So I just want them in there for that. So after weeks and weeks and weeks, so this was found at my 20-week anatomy scan. This is when they kind of thought that things were going haywire with my placenta. So 20 weeks. And now I was 33 weeks. So 13 weeks, I am stressing that I'm having this major surgery. And in the meantime of all of this, I had to go meet with the gynecological surgeons. And where are they based out of? The cancer center. So I had to fill out cancer paperwork so I could talk to the surgeons so they could walk me through the surgery, which, oh my God, terrifying. So they basically told me I will have a spinal, if I was going to have the surgery, I was going to have a spinal while they deliver the baby. The baby and my husband, I'll be awake for the spinal and the delivery part. But then baby would, pretty much need the NICU, being born 6 weeks early. So baby and my husband would go to the NICU, which is in another building because this C-section hysterectomy is a much bigger procedure. So that would be in the adult tower where regular delivery is in the children's hospital here. They have an L&D floor. And so my husband and the baby, and I'm sure a team of doctors, would go however they get to the NICU, and then they would knock me out. And then they were telling me all these teams that are going to be involved. So they're going to have a urology team because I guess the ureters are really close, and they put tubes in the ureters so that they don't get mixed up. I don't know. It made no sense to me, but urology team was going to do that first. And then the gynecological team is coming in, and they are basically doing the hysterectomy. And then there's other teams on standby because, apparently, this is stupid. There was a risk of damage to my bladder by the placenta because the placenta could also be growing into my bladder, which would mean, worst case scenario, I have to use a catheter for a few weeks after I go home. I'm like, guys, I'm in my 30s. I don't want to go home with a catheter. I understand a catheter while I'm in here and under, but I don't want to be leaving the hospital with a catheter. And there's all these extra teams because there's all these other things because, you know, the uterus is freaking gigantic at this point. And then they put the fear of God in me because most people that need the surgery apparently need at least one bag of blood. And I don't know what it is about getting blood, but that just freaks me out. I've never needed blood before. I came really close when delivering my son, but it was like so chaotic that I didn't really have a bunch of time to think about it. But this was like, yeah, you'll probably need at least one bag of blood. And I lost it. I'm crying. And the girl, the doctor, she's like, do you want me to stop? I'm like, no, just keep going because I'm just going to keep going. So you just might as well. So they were predicting a 4-hour surgery by the time it was all said and done because teams had to come and go. And there was the issue of complications. And if I bleed because the uterus is so big and there's so much blood going to the uterus to support the baby. And they said, if it gets really bad, you'll have to go to the surgical ICU floor, but the goal is to send you back over to labor and delivery and be in their recovery wing. I'm like, ICU? So they put the giant fear of God in me. I go home afraid I'm not going to, like, see these kids of mine grow up, right? My son that I already have here and this baby that I'm about to have. Like, I am in worst case scenario, just spiraling. And those were a couple of days. And so I go back for that 33-week ultrasound where I found I was in the clear. And I'm like, it's like whiplashy, right? Because I've spent 13 weeks terrified, just getting more and more terrified the more doctors I talk to. And now they're telling me, oh, it's all good. You can go for your standard 39-week C-section. I'm like, I don't believe you. So as of right now, I am just scheduled for a standard 39-week and some extra days, actually, repeat C-section. And we are just hoping and praying that it goes off without a hitch because my last C-section did not. There were tons of complications with my son without getting into it. He was sick. I was sick. I hemorrhaged. Yeah, that's the worst of it. That's like the gist of it. I could keep going. But so it did not go off without a hitch. I mean, healing was fine. Once I made it out of surgery, everything was good. So we're just really hoping for this time a smooth delivery where baby doesn't have to go to the NICU. I get to have the baby while they finish up. And I think, so they also asked me, hey, now we got to talk about birth control because birth control hasn't been on the table because birth control was the hysterectomy. So they're like, do you want to do a tubal ligation? I'm like, well, I'm in shock, so I can't make a good decision right now. But probably because never again. We were already done having kids. We said we're going to have 2 and we'll probably be done, even if, I really wanted a girl. But I was kind of to the point where even if it's a boy, even if I have 2 boys, I think I'm done. Because getting pregnant with number 2 was really hard after the miscarriage. I've talked about it a little bit here in this one. And pregnancy, I don't love it. And then this has just been such an outrageous pregnancy and stressful that we're done. Even if we wanted more kids, we don't anymore. We're done. So I will probably get a tubal ligation while they're doing the C-section. They said it adds 5 minutes. So whatever, 5 minutes, 4 hours, 5 minutes is fine. So I'll probably get a tubal ligation. But then I still have to figure out birth control for, the monthly misery. So if you've had an experience with an IUD or something else, I mean, I've been on the pill before, but that's about it. Let me know because I don't need it for birth control after the tubal, but I need it to make me a decent human being and, not ride that dragon once a month. Let me know in the comments about your IUD experience, but don't scare the crap out of me, please, because I've read plenty of those. So yeah, at this point, we are planning for a repeat C-section at 39 weeks, provided I make it that long and I don't go into labor beforehand. As of right now, I'm looking for a dog because I'm about to stand up. I'm 34 weeks, so I should actually be at the hospital right now, but I'm not. Oh, there's a dog behind me, so I'm going to stand up this way. Here's the 34-week bump that got fuzzy, so hold on. Yeah, here's a 34-week bump that got fuzzy. There's a dog right here. So, baby's giant. I'm feeling it if I don't lean back. So, yeah, let me sit down. So I am like winded very easily. Just talking, I'm like, oh, feeling it. Baby's heavy, so sleeping in bed, like I'm trying to sleep on my left side because I know that's the best, but sometimes I need to roll over to my right, and it's just like trying to heft this thing over. It is so hard to roll over at night anymore. And heartburn, oh my God, the weirdest things put my chest like on fire. So, for example, I have some days where heartburn's fine, but then I have other days where everything I put in my mouth, it doesn't matter what it is, it just like lights my chest on fire. I mean, water's sometimes done it. Spicy obviously will do it. Acidity will do it. Garlic is doing it, which sucks because I like garlic. Pie. So we got like one of those Costco pies, and I had a slice the other night, and oh my gosh, I had to stay up so late waiting for this heartburn to go away, and over a slice of peanut butter pie. Like, it was probably the peanut butter because I can't really have peanut butter, but like I figured there was enough sugar to help counteract it, but apparently not. So the heartburn has been absolutely miserable. I'm not sleeping because I'm getting up to go to the bathroom 2-3 times a night usually. Sometimes it's more. Those nights are rough. And I need a nap. I feel like I'm in the first trimester again. I feel like I need a nap to get through the day because I'm exhausted. And yeah, I think symptom-wise, that's about it. Oh, and my back is killing me. So with my insurance, when I ordered my pump, it also came with a belly band. But the issue was kind of switching doctors. So I originally sent my prescription request to my OBGYN because they were still my standard doctor. Nothing had been decided, but I needed the pump because if I was going to be in the hospital right now, like I wanted it. I know like they have pumps there, but I had a lot of trouble pumping with my son, and so I wanted options. I was going to use theirs. I have a portable one, and then I have a good Spectra one that I just ordered. Plus, I have my Mandela one still from last time. I'm just going to replace the parts. It still works. And so my OB didn't do anything about the prescription request. And so it sat there for a couple weeks until I officially moved over to the MFM doctors. Even though I have a standard C-section delivery, they let me move over because it's just been so bonkers. And so I finally sent it to them once like that was all said and done, like over the weekend. Like over the weekend I did that. I logged into my account and I switched my stuff over. And no lie, Monday morning, it was like 10 a.m. They had already filled the prescription. I got the email from, I ordered it through Aeroflow. They're like, hey, we got your prescription. Your stuff's on the way. So it's supposed to be in the mail today. At least one package from them is. So I'm seriously hoping that my belly band is in there because baby's heavy. I was peeling potatoes last night to make mashed potatoes. I felt so old. I had to sit down because my back was just screaming. So I feel old, you know, constantly going to the bathroom. My back hurts. I can't breathe. And I've got a little over a month left. I'm thankful for that little over a month. I'm thankful that I'm not immediately looking at a NICU visit and I can have hopes again for a delivery where baby's placed on my chest rather than taken to another room. So, yeah, that's the update. All of that hullabaloo for like nothing. So, my placenta hates me. I will stand by that until the day I die because it could have just implanted in the right place to begin with. I hope you're having the greatest week ever. Don't forget to check back next week for a video on online teaching because I'm coming right back to that. I know what I'm doing. I just haven't filmed it yet. It required more editing than I wanted to do. And then my camera gave me grief and I'm going to have to go edit out the fuzzy bits. So I hope you're having the greatest week ever and we'll chat soon. Bye.